Hi, I'm George with NS345. PreSonus have done it again. As Rick from PreSonus puts it, BAM! The Faderport 8 is here just like that. A couple of weeks ago, PreSonus announced the release of the Faderport 8. It's a beautiful controller and it matches the color scheme from Studio One. I'm pretty sure Studio One users are gonna be really happy. The most beautiful thing about the PreSonus Faderport 8, it's the price, $499. I remember when I paid $499 for a used Command 8 for my Pro Tools rig back in the day. So that's a really good deal. I'm waiting for the details on how it's gonna integrate with Studio One, but I'm sure it's nothing less than spectacular. PreSonus have the ability to make things simple and user-friendly. They listen to the community. The community has been asking for the Faderport 8 for some time, even coming up with their own designs. While the PreSonus Faderport 8 may not have all of the bells and whistles that everyone would like a dedicated pan pot on each individual track, it does have a universal pan pot on the left that you can select through each select button from each track. The transport section concerns me a little bit because it does not look as sturdy as my Mackie Control Universal. But if it's anything like the Faderport 1, I think it's gonna be sturdy enough, and I know that PreSonus just don't build something just to build it. I know that they take care of the small details. But at a sale price of $499, this thing is amazing. Now, I trust what PreSonus do, and I know that they built it with Studio One integration in mind, as well as the Huey protocol for Pro Tools. If it works anything like the way my MCU and my Faderport work together, I think the controller is gonna be awesome. So the big question is, am I gonna buy a Faderport 8? Or should you buy a Faderport 8? I can answer both. I have an older version of the Mackie Control Universal that I use along with the Faderport. For both, I think I paid about $200. This was a great investment for me because I can actually use the Mackie Control Universal in Pro Tools using the Huey protocol. And what I like best about the Mackie Control Universal is that if I'm in Pro Tools, I can actually hold Shift Control and click on a track, and the MCU automatically banks to that channel. Shift Control and click on that track and it banks. The same modifier key shortcut works for the Faderport. In Studio One, the Faderport switches as I click each track. The MCU doesn't, so I have to manually bank it. While this is a pain sometimes for me and for my workflow, it's not really a big deal because I use a lot of routing in my sessions, and prior to hitting my master track or my mix bus, I have a group of stems, which are in essence buses that I use to manage my mix. So what I do is I manually bank my Mackie Control Universal to my stems, and I leave it there, and the rest of the work that I do in Studio One, I do it using my Faderport. As I click on each individual track, the Faderport follows. And if I need to audition my mix or specific elements of the mix, I just use my Mackie Control Universal. So the answer to the first question is no. I'm not gonna buy a Faderport 8 because I just don't have $500 sitting around. I simply cannot afford it. It is, however, a great price. Now, will I save up to buy one? You best to believe that I will. I'm gonna start saving. But once I have the money saved up, I know that I'm gonna think twice about buying this piece of gear because I already have gear that works. My Mackie Control Universal and my Faderport work great together, so I don't feel like I need to buy anything else. However, based on the integration that PreSonus have in mind with Studio One, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be really tempted to get one as soon as it comes out, but I'm gonna wait it out a little bit. Now, the second question is, should you buy one? Absolutely. If you have $500 sitting around, if you've paid your mortgage, if you've paid your car note, if you've paid for your gas, your transportation, and all these other things that you need for your family, like clothing and groceries, then go ahead and buy it. And if you do buy one, I'm gonna be so jealous. But today I wanna hit home a little closer, and I wanna talk about what $500 can actually buy you. $500 can pay for a car note, can buy you groceries for 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the size of your family, can take care of car repairs, like when you need to go to work and your car breaks down, you don't have money in the bank to repair your car. $500 would be able to take care of that. $500 may also pay your rent, depending on what size of house or apartment you live in. In other countries outside of America, rent may even be cheaper in some places, so $500 can go a long way. And I don't know about you, but if you remember that one thing that cost $100 that you couldn't pay for because you didn't have money in the bank, well, think about 5 of those $100 things that you couldn't pay for, that you wish you had that $100 at that moment in your life to pay for that. Now, I know I'm that guy at the party called the party pooper. Yeah, that's me. My goal is not to demotivate you or discourage you from buying this. I love PreSonus, the company, the people that work there. I'm just saying, before you go buying a new piece of gear, think about what you're doing. Think about your priorities and your family. That said, I can't wait till it comes out and see how it integrates with Studio One and Pro Tools. At any moment, I think that it's gonna improve my workflow and the speed in which I do my mixes. Then I may go ahead and buy it, but not at the expense of my family. If I do buy it, I'm gonna sell my MCU, my fader port, and probably a preamp that I don't need because I have enough preamps. So here's my question to you today. Number one, are you gonna buy the Faderport 8? And if so, how are you gonna fund it? Are you gonna put it on a credit card? Do you have $500 saved up? Are you gonna sell something to buy it? Or do you just not care and you're gonna buy it and figure it out as you go? I know I've done that in the past. So, hey, I don't wanna be that party pooper again. I'm just trying to highlight some awareness in terms of our budgets and our families. Remember, our families are our main priorities, regardless of how big or how small your family is. $500 can go a long way, and if we spend it wisely and if we save up for it wisely, those $500 are gonna go a long way. All right? Hey, thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let me know your thoughts below. I'll speak to you later.